I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have all been saying the Pledge of Allegiance as far back as we can remember. The founding fathers of the United States wrote out a constitution, which is the document that outlines the relationship the citizens will have with the government. The first 10 amendments within the Constitution is what we refer to as the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment gives the citizens of the United States the freedom of religion and to worship God without fear of oppression from the government. I am proud to live in a country that not only respects religion, but offers her citizens the ability to worship without fear. Psalm chapter 33, verses 12 through 15. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chose for his inheritance. From heaven, the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. From his dwelling place, he watches all who live on earth. He who forms the hearts of all, who considers everything they do. The psalmist recognizes there would be nations that would not put the Lord first, and recognizes the fact that a nation who does not put the Lord first will not be blessed. Reading through the Old Testament, we see any time they as a nation did not seek the Lord, they experienced times of trouble. 2 Chronicles chapters 14 through 16 gives us the history of King Asa. He was the king of Judah. 14 verses 2 through 4. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. He removed foreign altars and high places. He smashed the sacred stones and cut down the Asherah poles. He built up and fortified cities within Judah. Verse 6 ends by saying, no one was at war with him during those years, for the Lord gave him rest. Again in verse 11, Asa calls out for the Lord for help in battle, and we read the Lord's response in verse 12. The Lord struck down the Cushites before Asa and Judah. The Cushites fled. 2 Chronicles chapter 15 continues with Asa fearing the Lord. He was visited by Asherah, whom the Spirit of the Lord had fallen upon. He brought this message to Asa. Asa and all Judah and Benjamin, the Lord is with you when you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. Verse 2. The rest of chapter 15 explains the things Asa did and the things he removed from the land. Verse 17, although he did not remove the high places from Israel, Asa's heart was fully committed to the Lord all his life. In the final years of Asa's reign, he began to put his trust and rely on other people rather than to continue to rely on God. Verses 2 through 3, Asa took silver and gold from the treasury of the Lord and from his own palace and sent it to the king of Aram to form a treaty between the two of them. Reading down in verses 7 through 9, we see the result of the decision of Asa. Verse 9 reads, for the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. You have done a foolish thing, and from now on you will be at war. To this point, the reign of Asa had been successful and peaceful because he put his trust in the Lord. Verses 11 through 14 tell us about the final days of Asa. He was afflicted with a disease in his feet, and he did not seek the help of the Lord. A lesson from the life of Asa that stands out no matter how well things are going or how bad things get in our lives, we should always seek the Lord's counsel first. If we seek the Lord's counsel first as individuals, then that will naturally bleed over into other parts of our lives. I challenge you to not stray from keeping the Lord at the center of all of your choices. Memorial Day is quickly approaching, and now more than ever, I personally appreciate the freedoms that so many have fought for. As I think about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, it is a great reminder that those founding fathers looked to our Heavenly Father for guidance. They even put it on our currency as a reminder in our pledge. On Memorial Day, our nation will stop and remember those who have given their lives defending our country, and for those who have served and continue to serve. I am thankful for those men and women who have served in the military to help preserve our Constitution and preserve our rights as Americans to worship the Lord without fear. We as a nation need to continue to put our trust in the Lord and look to Him for counsel.